Alrighty. Let's do it. It's time for another art stream. Push my mic aside so I can reach my keyboard. Alrighty. We are back at it with another art stream. This time we're doing more character shading stuff, because I do still have a lot of background stuff to do. It's just like tons and tons of background work to do, but I'm like, okay, I've been doing that for a while. Let's hop back over and do something different today, just so it's not like, you know, several weeks in a row of just me working on backgrounds, because that's what it could be otherwise. So today I'm gonna do some character shading. We're all the way back in like part 3 as opposed to like I don't know what it is, part 10 or whatever I'm on now, 10 or 11. Hello, thank you for coming. Hope that you are doing well on this Sunday. Ooh, hooray, hooray, hooray. I need to catch up on some of the later seasons. I think there's some stuff that was just on Gizmoplex or whatever. I do have friends that, actually I just realized, I think that is supposed to be empty, so I'm going to erase that. I do have friends that I think have access to Gizmoplex, so I should check that out. And I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. Ugh. Ugh. So, yeah, that's exciting about MST3K. Sorry about my sneezies. Yeah. Yeah, I should check out the new stuff. That's cool if the mods are back. Or the mads are back. Not the mods, the mads. The mad mods. The mod mads. No. It's time for riff tracks. Riff tracks. I also do appreciate the fact that Riff Tracks is on Nebula, so I can check out their stuff whenever I want. Because I wasn't super following Riff Tracks as well, but I do have a Nebula subscription. So now I can be like, hooray, I can go and look at the Riff Tracks stuff whenever I like. Yeah. TV's Frank. I wonder how they'll explain them being back. I'm sure there's some space-time shenanigans they can make up. It doesn't matter. It's just a show. You should really just relax. I'm glad they're getting along a little better, because there was kind of a rift between like Joel's people and Mike's people, which is why some people went on to make Rift Tracks and people tried to do like other stuff like Cinematic Titanic and stuff like that. So I'm glad that they're on a little bit better terms. Brain Guy. That's right, Brain Guy. You misunderstand. I'm just a brain. I don't have a body. Well, he's like dressed up in fetch gear to go out. They're like, Brain Guy, what are you dressed as? He's like, oh, I'm just on a date. We love you, Brain Guy. No, Brain Guy just teleports them in. You could do that. Well, I found these guys out. I don't want to take care of them. Oh, now they're on the SOL. Oh boy. How the tables have turned. Yeah, I'm out of the loop. I should catch up. Like I haven't seen the episodes with I don't remember who the new host is. What's her name? Like this was their first lady host. I don't remember her name. I need to see the episodes with her. Even the writers aren't sure. Hello. Thank you for coming. As I mentioned, I wanted to take a break from backgrounds for a little bit because I got so many backgrounds still to do. So we are focusing on some character shading today. Jonah, Emily, and Joel. Okay, that was it. Her name was Emily. That's right. Like I've seen all the Joel and Mike episodes. And I believe most of the Jonah ones. Maybe I missed some Jonah ones, but I haven't seen any with Emily. So I got to do that. I do appreciate it when they try new things, but also recognize old things too. Both things are good. Is the weakest, yeah. That's too bad. Yeah, I did like Jonah. Jonah was fun. I still think my favorite host was Joel, but there's not a bad host in the bunch. Like there's no like, oh, that person sucked. Like everybody's been good. Everybody's been funny. Do a little bit of this. I like that. Well, because the thing they renamed it to GPC, which kind of sounds, you know, like if you say it fast enough, then that's her name. So I think they can just say GPC, and that'll still be close enough to like the theme song version of it. Yeah, Mike is a lot of fun. Mike is a chill guy. There's no need to be like Mike versus Joel stuff. They're both funny. I personally prefer Joel's kind of sleepy take. He basically Mike is like the bot's like, you know, college roommate that they torment, and Joel is more like their dad. I'm trying to think like what's the relationship with Jonah, because they seem pretty amiable to Jonah. But Jonah, they seem kind of more like just like colleagues. Oh, that's so nice. I haven't been to a live show in a long time. Actually, I don't think I've ever been to a live show, but I did go to like some of the riff tracks once they showed in theaters. Like they did like Birdemic, I think, at one point, and I saw that, and I did like the Jack the Giant Killer. Their retake of Manos, although I do like the first Manos better. Joel and Jonah. The Jack the Giant Killer one we saw was really funny, though. Be right there. And man, I thought that watching riff tracks do Birdemic would help me, you know, find Birdemic entertaining. But good grief, Birdemic is such a slog of a movie to get through. Even with the riffing, it's ridiculous. It's like ridiculously plotting and slow, and like when the birds attack, it's nothing. And oh my goodness, yeah, this is Undyne going for her, doing her Hail Mary pass. She's gonna do it. She's gonna try and attack Noelle. He's like, I gotta do something. I'm the town guardian. I gotta protect the peoples. That's how Undyne be. Yeah, she was in a child sacrificing cult, but it was for the good of the peoples. Obviously, she's gonna kill the monster and save the day. That's exactly how it's gonna go. Hooray! I think it depends on the movie, but yeah, Birdemic was just not watchable. It wasn't even like funny bad. It was just like, this is such a slog bad. Do you think Chris, Susie, and Rouse be good riffers? Well, Chris has got to speak up more for that. Chris is too quiet at the moment. Actually, no, I don't think they would make good riffers. Chris is too quiet. Rouse would feel like being a riffer would be mean. Maybe Susie could do it, but she can't carry the whole team in that sense, and especially because like while she can be insulting, I don't think she has like quips. I wouldn't call her witty. She doesn't have clever insults. She has her insults are, you know, brute force, like how she goes. Oh my goodness, Birdley. I don't know, his riffing would be obnoxious. The problem with, like, to do a riff well, you have to kind of love the thing that you're riffing on. You have to, like, you can't dislike it. You have to have some knowledge with it. You can't take it quite that seriously. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't think that Chris, Susie, and Rouse would make good riffers. I don't think they're suited for it. You watch it multiple times for jokes, you kind of forced to love it. Every movie is a miracle. Yeah, I feel like if Burley's going to do anything in the comedy routine, it would be more like, angry video game nerd kind of thing. The problem is, I think that Birdley would be like an AVGN ripoff. He wouldn't be like the original AVGN, who's like really putting it like for the character and the love of the game. But like all the people that try to like copy AVGN and were like, I'm just gonna get mad at the video game, right? And that's funny when like there's more to it for AVGN than just getting mad at the video game. So he would try his best like to make the funny out of getting mad at the video game, but Birdley, I don't know if you got it. Twin Tails. Your reference, I don't know Scott the Woz. I vaguely heard of Scott the Woz just in passing, but I haven't like watched any of that, so I can't make the reference. I cannot make the comparison. Oh, how appropriate. We have some Undyne music playing. Ironically, I think if there's any person, any character that would like be really good at, exceptionally good at like doing riffing, it'd probably be Noelle. She's got the smarts for it. She's got kind of like a hidden, biting sense of humor that doesn't come out very often because she's too nice. But I think of all the characters that could pull off, being a riffer, it would be Noelle. She's definitely a nerd enough for it. Riffing be difficult. It's a skill like any other. Well, Chris would probably be okay with it once they like started speaking up a little more. If they can be more confident in themselves and not be so quiet, then I think they could do some pretty good riffing. They could do it with Noelle pretty well. Maybe Caddy? I don't know. I think she would also... I don't know if, like, the one-line riff would work super well. Actually, Jockington. I want to see Jockington do riffing. I don't think he would be very good at it, but I think it would be, like, unintentionally hilarious with Jockington. He's too sincere. He would just, like, take everything very at face value, and... it would be funny in that sense. Go, Undyne, fight your strongest. Jump your highest. Run your fastest. Yeah, exactly. It's like, no, you can't do that. Stop. But the beard makes me distinguished. Caddy covered in hair always. Me sometimes gets a little hair. One of us does what the other cannot. Like grow hair. Susie's harem grows. Yet another one falls for the Suze. I love that one art that's like, you know, Susie's thinking to herself, oh, I wish I was a better person. Meanwhile, all of the characters around her are just like, Susie! Like, perfect. We love our girl. Our poor monster girl. I do gotta play Love Buster as soon as I finish Outer Tale, which we'll see how close I get, considering last time I got super stuck on Metaton. Good grief. I got super duper stuck. I feel like the last time do I have? Yeah, I do have her things on separate thingies. Okay. You gotta figure out what color those are. I already forgot. Ooh. Yeah, like I want what under what context does Jockington grow a beard? Is he gonna do it in the light world or is he gonna do it in the dark world? When does your beard come in, sir? Sir Snake. What is the context for it? Okay. I should put a motion blur on Undyne too. Probably not. Otherwise it might get a little confusing to look at. Okay, I'm going to let's do this one, see if that works for my mouse. Stuck under my tablet. It's stuck. Okay, I think I should do it. Well, maybe a little bit lighter. Go. No need her eye color. It's definitely a little faster to do than Caddy and Jockington, who got complicated stuff going on. Actually, after that. No eyes there. She's running. Alright, do we get everything? We'll do like the shadows and stuff later. I usually do that in the effects sequences, just character shading. Cool. Actually, let's do Noelle shading first. The darker one. Okay. There she is. Actually, now before that, we need to put in this, the human characters have a lighter color. It's fine, Undyne. This definitely won't end badly for you. For reals. He got kicked in the face. Okay, back to it. Well, Nine did her best. It did not work, but she did her best. Also, I'm surprised. Wasn't it like the 40th anniversary of Zelda yesterday, and like Nintendo didn't even do anything for it? I saw all this like pretty fan art for it from fans, like, "Oh, happy 40th, Zelda," and nothing from actual Nintendo. Weird. 40 years is a heckin' long time for a video game. Oh, of course they will. Thanks, Nintendo. I mean, they probably won't, but the litigiousness of Nintendo is not great. Not the best. Ooh. I think normally I don't have the Eldritch Beast at quite this dark of a shade, but hoping them kind of stand out from the backdrop a bit in this situation. I gotta do that. Hey, also I have to ask, did when you guys joined, did you have ads at the start? Were there pre-roll ads at the start of the stream? I'm curious. Okay, I don't know what to do then, because I checked my settings and it said pre-roll ads were turned off. I double checked them today before I started. Okay, not today. Why do some people get them and some don't? Because I checked them and they were turned off. I'm not sure on how it works in that sense. Why do some people get them and some don't? Is there a difference in subscription, or? They do switch back on their own sometimes, which is very annoying, but I double checked and they were off. Yeah, they shouldn't see that, since especially shouldn't see that if you're subbed. That should not happen if you are subbed. So maybe it was the other stream, I don't know. How platforms operate and whatever way is most inconvenient to you, apparently. Convenience? What's that? We only know show, hot, add, and lie. Or whatever. I don't know where that meme comes from. And ain't that the way? Yeah, it looks blank back here because there's like a text box that I've hidden, but we'll fill that in with some shading anyway. The backside of deer. I also do want to get back to working on the next mainline Eldritchrune thing with ERAM, but I'm not quite at the point where I can stream something yet. I'm getting there, but not quite. I'm in the thick of work right now, so that is hard to find time for it. What? Water. And also yesterday was just adulting. Adulting. I had to clean my apartment and do my laundry and take out the trash. And I did my tax. Well, I didn't do my taxes, but I got my tax documents together for the person who will do them. I did so many adult things. That's all fine. Lurking is fine. I just hope I am being entertaining while I draw on these silly antlers. And then I kicked her, sir. And give her a ha and a hi-ya. And I kicked her, sir. I remember when I thought that was funny, however long ago. Do you suppose there's ever a time when, like, kids actually like the little annoying mascots for kids, or is that, like, do kids grow out of that really fast? Like, is there a specific age where kids actually like the little side character or whatever that is supposed to be appealing to kids? Because they're supposed to be funny or whatever? Like, the bar talk or, good grief, what was his name from the My Little Pony movie? The little guy. I should know. I had to draw him a bunch, so I should know it. Actually, let's do just a full flat here. I'm not forgetting his name. I forgot. We were gonna name him like something else, and then which I thought was like a perfectly fine name. And they're like, no, that's a furry thing. We can't name him that. And I'm like, I don't think it actually is a furry thing. I would know. But they're like, no, it's some weird furry thing, so we can't name him that. But I can't remember what the term was. Like Skrunkle or something. I don't remember. It was like 10 years ago at this point, which is kind of terrible. Well, it wasn't 10 years ago. No, actually it was like 10 years ago. That's kind of terrifying. Well, not even giving her the frost breath just kicks her. No, Undyne might get worse treatment in canon if she is, like, frozen or something. However that bit was that was taken out of the Shadow Crystal dialogue. Whatever's going on with that. Figure out when I can take my stretch break. The icicles on Noelle's underside always make her look like she has wet fur. She is always Wet Beast Wednesday. Wet Beast Sunday. Doesn't have quite the same ring to it. It's not Wet Beast, it's Frozen Beast. A Frozen Beast. Whew. At least the one nice thing of having the house clean, aside from the house being clean, is that usually when I'm done, I put on one of those like nice smelling Bed Bath and Beyond candles, so that now the place smells nice and clean. It's my reward for having to vacuum and stuff like that. What is your least favorite chore? My least favorite chore is cleaning out the fridge. I despise doing that. I hate dealing with old food. I'd rather have like a mostly empty fridge than have to clean it out regularly. Ugh. Quiet today. And that's okay. Probably need to stop in a little bit and do my stretch break. I don't like how noisy my computer has been sounding lately. Maybe I should open it up and do a little dusting in there too. It's been a while. I always feel so nervous when I do that because I pretty much just kind of like blow the compressed air inside, and it's like, oh, I hope this is cleaning it. I'm afraid to touch anything. Alright, let's do a quick stretch break. Oh, wait. I especially don't want to have to replace any parts anytime soon, considering prices of parts are now insane, which is not cool. Alright, stretch break time. On my neck and all that. I don't think I need to replace any parts anytime soon because everything seems to be running fine, but there's always a little bit of that paranoia. Should have done exercises yesterday like I usually do, but I kind of skipped out on them because I was cleaning all day. Oh well. You're in the chat like, good grief, how does the meme usually go? I forget. I'm in the, wait, no, in the house like carpet. You're in the chat like carpet. Sniff, a sniff. Chicken. I miss those memes. When are we gonna get more in the house like carpet and roast chicken memes? Where's the bountiful harvest of the roast chickens? Where are they? The roast chicken dance. Must embrace more YouTube poops. And yes, I don't know. I prefer the roast chicken silliness over the Woody theory stuff anyway, so I'm like, okay, I get to hear that again for however long it's gonna go. Fine, fine. I will deal with it. As always. And such. Ooh. When did YouTube poops even start? That feels like that's ancient. Ancient stuff. He's in the car like house pet. Lyrical genius. True. True enough. Alright, I'll be right back for one more stretch and water and stuff. Alrighty, I'm back. And Shakespeare real quiet since Toby dropped that. His shitposts are nourishment for the soul. I like the shitposts, they're fun. Nobody can shitpost like he does. That's probably why he doesn't do it as much anymore, because everybody's going to be like, what does this shitpost mean for the lore? And it's like, I think he could just shitpost. Fertilizer posting. True. Bountiful harvest. Fertilizer. What can we learn from this? We can learn roast chicken. We can grow a bountiful crop of memes from the shitposts. Now I kind of want to use that term other places, fertilizer posting, where like it's a shit post, but it's still like good for the ecosystem. A shit post that's good for the social media ecosystem. Fertilizer posting. Was someone back there? Not anymore. Kick. She had one of those leg cramps and was like, oh shoot, I gotta, you know, when you get like a thing in your leg and you're like, ah, you gotta kind of kick your leg a bit. Just one of those. Well, I do hate when that happens. Especially like when you're trying to sleep and all of a sudden your leg is like, ah! I don't like that. No, you're totally right though. Toby was putting in direct references to the Jackenstein fight. People are like, oh, silly Toby. And then when he actually does a shitpost, they're like, this changes everything. Y'all, you gotta recognize the shitpost for what it is, please. Alright, and do the undying shading. Well, Kung Fu kicks Undying Cannon. Yes. That will definitely happen. If that did happen, I would just scream my head off, but that ain't gonna happen. Because Noelle's too nice to kung fu kick Undyne. Especially if Undyne's been kidnapped by, like, her sister. Like, I'm sorry you got kidnapped, Officer Undyne. Some cops are fish, true. Everybody's kung fu undying. Doo-doo-doo-doo. That fish as fast as lightning. Oh my goodness, yeah. That's so annoying. That's probably why I don't like the Woody theory thing. I was thinking about it, I'm like, why can't I let people just have fun? Like, why am I being such a grouch about this? Like, I like, people can have fun, right? Why does this bother me? I think what bothers me about it is when, like, people take a joke or a shit post. It's like, no, you have to take this seriously now. This is serious business. This has deep implications for the lore, etc. Like, no, it doesn't. It doesn't really. If this was real, it would be lame. It would kind of suck. Like, no, I actually don't want to take, what if there was a cowboy, secret boss, all that seriously? Because it's like, if you stopped and thought about it, it'd be kind of lame. You gotta, yeah, he's working together with, Pixar to show the realness. It's like, guys, come on, please. What a marketing strategy. I'm sure Pixar's totally fine with that. Sure, we'll promote your indie game and not one of our bajillion properties we, the Disney Corporation, own. Yeah, we already did Western stuff. Like, we'll just do it again. Sure, we'll cover the same ground again. Uh-oh, Karate Dojo. Stuff. No, you have to take Papyrus Night seriously. Like whenever it's like, oh, you have to take this meme seriously, it's always just like the most surface level reading of, the themes and characters and stuff like that. It's like, no, I don't think I actually do have to take that seriously. I don't. She's jumping so far and fast. No, that's not how a martial art works, or any dojo. No, you don't just give it to them. Go buy a costume of it if you want. Like, go to, Halloween Spirit Halloween or whatever, and go buy a ninja costume or a karate costume. There's your black belt. Okay, that's all you want. Well, that doesn't sound like it would be a very good dojo. That sounds like it would not teach you very well. Yeah. I would not want to go to one of those. Basically, daycares with costumes. Oof. That's no fun. Oof and uff. I have thought sometimes, I'm like, there's a Brazilian jiu-jitsu place pretty close to where I live. I could just walk over there, and I'm like, man, maybe I should go and try and learn a little martial art. It might be good for me physically, good for me, mentally, stuff like that. Keep in shape. Oh, uh-oh. Well, that probably did not go well at all. I wonder if the female student just then kicked their ass because they're actually learning at the dojo. I guess there's a lesson here for us all. Hopefully. Hopefully there's a lesson. Oh, good grief. Oh my goodness. You're at a martial arts place. What did you expect would happen? Sounds like a liability thing. Sounds like things have gone horribly off the rails. Please do not be like Undyne in this sense and just attack without thinking. Spin attack, spin attack. I'm just can't get over the like, yeah, I'm going to fight like the martial arts teachers in the dojo by slapping them. This is going to go very well for me. And then give me a black belt, please. Again, I hope a lesson was learned. I hope somebody learned something. I hope somebody learned something about martial arts, for that matter. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. No. Oh, boy. How does the story keep getting worse? Yep. That's pretty silly. Oh man, doing the dang free run meme with Undyne here, so it is actually really hard to draw from this angle. It's difficult. There must be something, I think, about being a mom with your kid and just like getting into like a certain situation where you act in a way that you wouldn't expect. Because this kind of happened to my mom when she was trying to visit me when COVID restrictions were still a thing. So she was, trying to get on the plane to come see me, and tried to have her COVID test, negative COVID test, and all the other paperwork stuff ready for it. And something went wrong with that, and they wouldn't accept her paperwork. And she just kind of flew off the handle at the people there because she was so desperate to get up. Like, she thought she was going to miss the flight and come up and see me because she's like, I did the stuff. Why isn't the paperwork working? And, she flew off the handle at them. Eventually, she did get to come up and see me, but she's like, I've never acted that way before. That was really embarrassing. I can't believe I spoke to people that way. I was just, like, so upset that I had to, take it out on these people that, it wasn't their fault kind of thing. So, beware. You never know what will get you to act in a way that's not appropriate. You think you'll be the kind of person who's like, oh, I would never act that way, and then like something happens where just like things accumulate and you just kind of lose it. It can happen to anyone. You must be careful. Yeah, I guess it would have. I'm kind of glad the free run post took off as it did. People were like people, instead of like making fun of that artist, people were like, oh yeah, that angle actually is really difficult to do. Let's all try and do it. Let's all learn together. I was really happy about that. I was happy that this didn't turn into like a mocking thing and it turned into a, let's do an art lesson thing. Let's all try this art challenge. The art challenge being this angle is really obnoxious and hard to do. Because it is. It's really hard to get that like lower angle good. It's insane. Kept accusing the deaf OP of wearing head. Oh, good grief. Oh my goodness, dude. I hope the teacher had to pay for hearing aids. Like, come on. That's kind of shocking from a teacher. Like, from a teacher perspective, again, my parents are teachers. Wait, really? You saw reactions of people making fun of them? The ones I saw, at least, I mean, I'm not on Twitter anymore. I'm on Blue Sky. The reactions I saw were like various artists being like, "Hey, yeah, that's a really difficult angle to do. I'm gonna try it." I didn't see people like making fun of the artist for it. That was my experience. But yeah, I left Twitter after 2024. Yeah, I'm sorry. Like as a teacher, they should really know better on that front. Like, I get it's frustrating that, you know, if people are not, if you think the kids are not listening to you. But good grief, do they ever pound it into teachers that, like, you have to accommodate for these students' needs? Like, there's lawyers and stuff involved with that. It actually gets quite complicated. Like, my mom has had to do a whole lot of, like, extra work just dealing with, like, the legality and paperwork of students that, like, have, you know, disabilities or learning issues, like, and they need extra help, whether that's, you know, and like hearing aids would be a simple thing. It can get really, like, the paperwork and all that stuff, the lawyering can get really complicated for kids' various needs in terms of learning. So if I was a teacher and the kid's like, I have these headphones in because, you know, I'm a hearing aid, I would drop it. I would not assume they're lying to me. Because it's a calculated thing. It's like, okay, is this worth escalating? And usually the answer is no. Yeah, that's just not okay. You definitely do not grab something off of a person. And like, yeah, sometimes kids do lie and stuff like that. Sometimes kids are dangerous. Like my mom has been dealing with. Basically, like, she has a thing where, like, the kids have to basically put away their cell phones. Put away, you know, your smartphones into, like, little cell phone cubbies so that they're not out during class and you can actually pay attention, because otherwise kids are going to be on their phones all day and not paying attention. But we've had some kids that are basically lying about that, lying about putting their phones away and then just kind of keeping them out during class, you know, hiding them under their desk and using them kind of thing. But even in that scenario, you can't touch a kid for that. You can't grab something. That's a big no-no. So yeah, there might be some jerk kids who are lying to you, but you still can't touch them like that. That is not allowed. So I'm not surprised the teacher got fired for that, because that again, big no-no. But I do wonder if that was a breaking point for that teacher, where they were just, you know, they were going along with things fine, and then they snapped, they reached a breaking point, and then did not act rationally, did not think through the consequences of things. And all it takes is one time where you don't think about things, and oops, you've screwed up big time. It's rough because, again, everybody's susceptible. You think you'll be fine, and then something will just, like, will break you, and you will act in a way you did not think you were capable of acting. And I'm just waiting for the day that happens to me. Something is gonna, like, set me. I'm gonna be in some situation where something will set me off, and I will do something deeply embarrassing and unwise, and I'll just have to deal with that. Because we all have to deal with that. I haven't played SimCity, so I didn't know that was a bug. That's really weird. Is that SimCity or is that The Sims? So I've never played The Sims. I did play like really old versions of SimCity, like on our black and white Mac, ages ago. This must be a different version of SimCity. It must be one of the newer ones. Like in the oldest versions of SimCity, like you didn't really have any control over. You didn't even see what the people were doing. You were just paying attention to like the buildings and the zoning and stuff like that. At most, I think you could see cars. Like, maybe people were like dots sometimes on the street. I don't know. Yeah, the original versions of SimCity, you were pretty much just focused on the city. Hence, SimCity. And then it kept expanding out until it's like, okay, fine, you are focused on the people now. And I'm lucky, at least she's alive here. He's refused. Also bizarre and also like incorrect. That's weird. Like the whole point of those kinds of things is when you hear the fire alarm, regardless of whatever else is happening, go outside. There is a procedure to follow for that. That's weirdo behavior. I don't understand that at all. Like, if it's a false alarm, then oh well. Too bad. Alright, we will have Undyne in the shade here. Yeah, fire alarm goes off, follow your procedures, and go outside, because the alternative is fire. That's a problem. I will say, I do not like the fact that, and I am super susceptible to this as well, I am not immune to this either, is that, like, if a fire alarm goes off, I'm kind of, like, cautious, like, wait, do I need to do something? Should I run outside right now? Because sometimes, like, it goes off because, you know, somebody's cooking or whatever, and things get a little too smoky. So I'm like usually the fire alarm goes off, I kind of, like, peer out in the hall of the apartment, like, is anybody else going? I'll go if everybody else goes, that kind of thing. Which I think everybody else in term does too, which I know is not the proper way to do that. You're supposed to just, you know, follow procedure and go outside. Yeah, that's Bizarro. That's Bizarro World. I don't know what's going on with that. You're not busy with the class anymore, teacher. Fire alarm. They are depending on you. That's weird. I'm not quite sure why people would act like that, because follow through on that's pretty obvious. Alright, let's get Noelle shading again. And then she just walks off. They didn't have fire alarm now. They didn't even have giant eldritch beast alarm. I just realized Hometown doesn't have any kind of like alarm system for a disaster, does it? Like supposedly it's like, oh, if there's a big disaster, we all go to the shelter and hide out there and stuff like that, but I don't think we've seen anything like indicating, oh, there will be some kind of like alarm system of like the disaster is happening, go to the shelter kind of thing. It's just kind of there, and also you can't get into it without 3 people. Mm-hmm. What's going on with that place? Why does everybody want us to stay away from it? No, I do not think that Hometown has an early alert system that's like whoop whoop. We haven't seen any sign of that. Yeah, that's frustrating. That's frustrating. Teaching is hard. Teaching is a really hard thing to do. And it's a tough thing because, like, on the one hand, you want students to respect you because otherwise they're not going to pay attention to you. And that's happened to my mom, to, you know, and not even just my mom, but like other friends who are also teachers. You have to strike this balance of, like, okay, you want your students to respect you so that they'll actually listen to you. But you don't want it to be this thing of, like, oh, I'm just exercising authority. You don't want the kids actually afraid of you because they're not going to learn much from that either. And it's not helpful to have a teacher that's, like, just there to, you know, exert their power over kids. That's not good. So how do you do a teaching thing where, you know, kids respect you and will take your time seriously, but also are not afraid of you? Oh, that kind of thing. Oh, I hate that when that's on phones. Good grief. It makes me jump. So scary. Maybe they don't have that for hometown because they do expect it on the phones and TV. No, he says, it's just like Local 58. Yeah, teaching's hard. Especially hard when you have, like, a really big group of kids because, you know, they're all gonna, you know, have different interests, want different things. Some of them care a lot about your class, and some of them do not give two craps at all. No! Oh, no. No, that happened to a friend. I have a friend who uses hearing aids because their hearing is not great. And their hearing aids are hooked up to their phone so they can hear their phone going off. And then anytime there's, like, an Amber Alert or something like that, then that gets blasted into their ear. I think it's supposed to, like, suppress the noise, but it doesn't work. So, like, please, if you're gonna, please be considerate people that have hearing aids in that sense. Nobody wants to get suddenly blasted with, you know, alert noises directly into their ear, which they need to wear in order to hear their phone. And that's no fun at all. Hello, thank you for coming. We're doing some character shading today instead of backgrounds, because I've been doing a lot of backgrounds lately. We're almost done with this part. Man, I'm sure I'm gonna need, like, either hearing aids or glasses or something in the future. Considering how much I stare at a screen, I'm surprised I don't need glasses yet. Both my parents need glasses. The whoop, and the other burk. Isn't the Amber Alert like the wheel? I can't remember the exact noise, but good grief, it's loud. The roaring is happening? I guess. I don't think I ever mentioned it, like, as a roaring by name, except for maybe that'll come up in some of Asriel's studies more. Roaring calamity or something like that. Only in this case, we're actually instigating it as opposed to trying to avoid it. Amber Alert is the warp. Yeah, I know it's an unsettling frequency on purpose, obviously. It's supposed to spook you. But I think they should at least turn down the volume for that for people that have hearing aids and have their hearing aids hooked up to their phone so they don't get blasted with an alert noise directly into their eardrums. That does not sound good. I didn't know silver alerts were a thing. That is for, like, an elderly person that's gone missing. I've never gotten a silver alert. I've only seen the Amber. I've only either seen tests or the Amber Alerts. Use the warp. Okay. Actually, I wonder if my family got that during the fires around Los Angeles. They were pretty bad. Ugh, evacuation stuff. Don't like that. They're still rebuilding from that. Good grief. The worst part about a disaster is, like, even if you get through it, it takes so long to rebuild everything that goes down, and just, like, it's so much faster to tear something down than it is to, like, build it up again. That's the hard part. Interesting. I wonder if anybody's done, like, a study on various, like, alert noises that different country uses. What is your theory on what will happen on June 19th? Toy Story 5 will come out, I guess. I still haven't seen 4. I don't know if I should see 4. Well, I'm a little, like, about another one, because I thought that 3 ended on a, perfect note for that to end on. It's like, okay, we passed it on to the new generation. Yay, you know, we've reached a satisfying conclusion. Like, no, now there's a 4th one. Now there's a 5th one. Watch out for iPad babies. And I'm like, really? Okay. So, yeah, I guess Toy Story 5 will come out on that day. And, I don't know, I'd rather see Iron Lung right now. Earthquake alert goes bling bling. Bling bling? Earthquake? I don't know, has anybody seen Toy Story 4? Did they like it? I haven't seen it. I don't even know if you could hear Morse code. Good grief. Fourth ending is pretty good. Ever so slightly controversial? I don't think it's going to be as late as September, October, but I don't think it's going to be the same day as Toy Story 5. I think that's reading way too much into it. My personal hope is July. 1, because that's my birthday month, and 2, that would be ideal for me in terms of, like, my work schedule. I would prefer it, like, work out well with my work schedule, whereas I'm going to be a little bit busier in June. July, I will, my work schedule will be better, so that I'll be able to take some time and experience the new chapter. So, I'm pulling for July. End of May is also acceptable. June is a tough month for me. But yeah, I'm not really one for reading into, is his tweet about something else secretly about Deltarune? I'm like, no, I don't think so. I don't think Deltarune's release is an ARG. we already have an ARG going, and it's not about when the release date is. I think, okay, maybe he did a little music for it. Maybe he did a voice cameo, because he's certainly done both of those things for other places. Although I do think his phrasing for that was really weird. I'm not sure why he phrased it like that. Yeah, I remember that. But, yeah, I just, again, I'm not a big fan of Woody Theory, so getting all those memes again, I'm kind of like, okay, I'm just gonna deal with that for however long that goes. But I don't think there's some secret Deltarune news hidden in Toy Story 5. I think he's yeah. He knows how to push buttons, and, like, I don't think it's actually saying anything that's like, yep, I know how to make you guys nuts. I don't think that's a secret, like, and then take this seriously kind of thing. Yeah, like, exactly. The fact that, like, the Green Pippin's already joked about it. I think he is pulling a fast one. I do not think it's something that's like, you now you need to take this seriously. And that's kind of what annoys me about it. It's annoying to me when, like, the meme is like, yes, this is a funny meme, but no, take it seriously. This is serious analysis. I'm like, no, it's not. I'm sorry. But I don't want to, like, I feel kind of bad whenever I go into that, because I feel like I'm being a stop having fun kind of person. And I don't want to be a killjoy or anything like that. Alright, I think I need to take a stretch break. So we'll keep talking during that. Actually, let me do that. Yeah, I don't like being a killjoy about that kind of thing. I find it when we get memes and then people turn around and say, oh, you have to take this meme seriously. I find that annoying. So stuff like, yeah, Woody will definitely be a boss. Gaster is green. Papyrus is the knight. No, really, take this seriously. I'm like, no. I don't want to. Welcome back. I am taking my stretch break before we move on with more of that. I do not mind if you talk about MST3K stuff. That is all well and good. That is a funny. Although I will be out of the loop on anything that's like chapter 13 and more and beyond. Which one is my fave episode? Oh goodness. I probably have multiple favorites. I like. You gotta always go with, like, the first one you watch always has a special place in your heart. So, Cave Dwellers, one of my favorites, because that was one of my first episodes. I also like Night of the Blood Beast. I think that one's really funny. Of course, there's Manos. Crywolden is good. Manos is good. I like Attack of the Eye Creatures, actually. That's a funny one. Let's see. What are some Mike episodes that I like? Hobgoblins, always good. Yeah, Space Mutiny, that's a classic. Of course, another classic is The Final Sacrifice, especially now that, I'm Canadian. Gotta appreciate that. What are some other more obscure ones that I really like? Some of the less popular ones. Well, Cry of Wilderness was the second episode of, like, season 11. Yeah. And also, just like Mac and Me, that was their first one of the new season, and that was quite funny. I really like Mac and Me. Yeah, Cry of Wilderness, very funny. What else do I like? Good grief, I'm blanking. Yeah, they can't have run out of black and white films already. I mean, I'm sure it's probably like a rights issue. Got to make sure you get all your rights and stuff like that. Oh, It Conquered the World. That's a funny one. I like it. It Conquered the World. Let's see. I like a lot of the shorts. Like, a lot of the shorts are really funny. A Date with Your Family, extremely funny short. Or Why Study Industrial Arts, another good one. Alright, I'll be right back for one more stretch and orange juice and stuff. Yeah, sci-fi episodes do have an arc. Well, Alphys isn't a nurse, she's a tutor. She won't be able to help much medically. That's a neat adventure. I'm trying to think of other episodes I liked. I think I liked the Atomic Brain. Look, she creaks. She goes downstairs. She's so dang old. Doo-doo. Doo-doo. I think riffing games might have to go to people more in tune with games and stuff. I don't know if that works as well with like the riff tracks or MST3K people. Although, wasn't there like a Polygon show or something like that was doing that for a bit? Sort of tutor being like, ah! The RPG reading ones. I could have sworn that, or there was like a game trailers, like a GT trailers or something. Show that was doing like riffing on game cinematics. Let me try and find that again. Yeah, real-time fan dubs. I loved the Kingdom Hearts one. That was so funny. Snapcube's real-time fan dub. That was so funny. Oh my goodness. I don't know if those count as riffs. Those are not quite the same thing as riffs. Those are their own separate thing. But oh, that one was just what I needed. I was like feeling really down because I think that was when that whole thing with Shay went down and it was just depressing. And then I'm like, you should watch the Snapcube's fan dubs, and I like blazed through the entire Kingdom Hearts series in a day and just laughed a lot. It was really funny. I need to check out the Sonic one too. I think I saw like the first part of it, but I didn't finish it. So I'm like, oh, that's where like all the memes like, what are you two fucking talking about coming from? Like, okay, I understand it now. I miss my wife Tails. I miss her a lot. I now know the origin. Laughter is the best medicine. True. Yeah, I hope they do Kingdom Hearts 2 or Chain of Memories, either one. I think they were talking about maybe doing it. Yeah, the Snapcube real-time dub of Kingdom Hearts. Extremely funny. They put a lot of work into that, you can tell, and it pays off. Which opening for MST3K? Well, I like them all. I don't think there's any that I dislike. Because it's really just the same theme song, just, you know, remixed in various ways as is appropriate. Hello, hello. Thank you for finally joining our stream. Hello, hello. I think it's Season 8. Season 8's pretty good. Packed up all our stuff and she shot him in the space. Get me down. She grabbed a few things and she threw them in her purse. And something, something, something all across the universe. Oh, yeah, the Kingdom Hearts series are not all in chronological order. I think Kingdom Hearts 3 is like, what, the 8th game in the series? Worst I can find. La la la. Yeah, all the theme songs are good. No bad ones. Well, I mean, if they were just doing real-time fan dub, no, they don't need to do every game in the series. Because for that, they're making stuff up anyway. But if you're actually playing the game seriously, yes, you should be playing all of them because they do actually help. Yeah, like, honestly, I mean, the reason why I kind of fell out of the Kingdom Hearts fandom, one, I just wasn't really happy with how 3 ended for a number of reasons. 2, I was already just way deep in Deltarune Undertale, so I'm like, well, I don't want to spend time on something I'm not enjoying anyway, so I fell off the Kingdom Hearts wagon. But in terms of like, oh, Kingdom Hearts timeline is so confusing, it doesn't make any sense. I'm like, I don't know, I could follow it. I could at least follow it up to 3 okay. Like, I think where stuff got confusing for me was when you started incorporating stuff from, like, Union Cross and stuff like that. Wants you to know, yes, you should know the side games in order to play Kingdom Hearts 3. You should, at the very least, you do need to know Birth by Sleep, absolutely. You should know Chain of Memories. You should know Days, the organization one with Roxas. And you should know Dream Drop Distance. All of those things become relevant. Heck, even Coded becomes relevant. They bring back stuff from there. So, yes, 3 you should know about the side games. And yeah, there's even stuff from Union Cross in 3 where it's like, it's not that much compared to, like, say, Birth by Sleep, which you absolutely should play. But there are some things from Union Cross in there where it's like, if you know nothing about Union Cross, you'll be like, wait, who the hell is this kind of thing. Grab some munchies. Some yummies. Yeah, but the thing with the real-time fan dubs is, like, again, they don't really need to know all the lore to make the fan dub funny, because they're making stuff up anyway. You can get by with, like, cursory knowledge for the real-time fan dub. And it'll still be funny. Especially if they just, like, keep the plot going from, like, you know, their fandom of, you know, Sora wanting to be a heart surgeon. That is true. I do want to strangle Zigbar. More so with every passing game. No explanation. Who are you? There is some fun stuff in Chain of Memories, though. Alright, hope you have good foods. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, I mean, part of the thing is the improv of it. I think they set themselves, like, you know, too narrow a thing if they have to follow the games closely. The improv becomes really funny when, you know, you don't know what's happening and you just make stuff up. Now, I think it wouldn't hurt if, like, the actors, you know, look up what happens in the game. Just so they have, you know, a well of information to draw jokes from. But I don't think they have to, like, dub it. Yeah, exactly. The whole thing with, like, again, where he's like, I'm just gonna be a surgeon, and like, wait, I like killing. Like, all that was really funny. You can just keep running with that. All the stuff about both Donald and Goofy are just dogs. Donald's like, I'm the new king of Mario Castle. You can follow up with that in 2 for sure, because we actually go to Disney Castle. Yeah, I hope they do too, but I imagine that's going to be a long time coming because it took a very long time to do 1, so. And 2 is an even longer game. And when I first got Kingdom Hearts 2, I just blazed through that on easy in like a day because I was so anxious to see the story. I gotta find out what happens. I threw like a little party with my friends and we ate snacks. It was a good time. I love doing a little release party thing. What do you mean when you do the boss from the C3K? That's 1-0. I'm different. Yeah, I think she had a thing as well. Everybody got all this stuff going on. Oh, you changed your voice. Smart. Exactly. Yeah, you changed your bowling pin. I love you, Joel. You're so cute. So cute. Are they doing a new Power Rangers without using the Sentai material? Huh. That's unusual. I feel like what makes Power Rangers is that, yeah, it's the repurposed Super Sentai stuff. I don't know how you would do that without the Super Sentai flavor. Might be new material. I don't know. You gotta have that. Yeah, Japanese superhero team sensibility to it. Americans would not do it the same way. They would do it as like an American superhero team, and that's just not the same. Why aren't there like 30 Super Sentai shows of various kinds? I don't know how you'd be able to follow up with that. There's like a ridiculous amount of Super Sentai shows. Okay. Let's see. Gotta add their eyes in. Am I almost done with this page? But the whole point, and also the whole point of doing Power Rangers is like, oh, we already have, you know, all this material from the Sentai show, so we don't have to shoot as much. It's like a time-saving thing. We just put in the Western actors instead of the Japanese actors and make up different story stuff. Yeah, it always sucks when it's like, I want to do this thing and I don't have the budget for it. That's a roughness. Cinematography is hard. Cinematography basically is filmmaking. It doesn't get enough credit for, you know, how hard cinematography is. $2 million. That's a lot of episodes. That might take a while to film. That might take a bit. Okay. I know she had some stuff on her. That was different colors. Let's see. Yeah, you did too. No, that one didn't. Oh, $2 million. I was about to say that's. I think that might be more episodes than normal. I mean, they might. I guess we'll find out. Are we done with this page? Finished page. Everybody loves the Mystery Science Theaters. They want more. Now more than ever. I imagine. Well, do they have stretch goals set up? If they have stretch goals, then they might do more episodes. I wouldn't mind if they even do a few less episodes, but just pay more money to the crew working on it. Ads. I have not heard of that one. Power Rangers universal healthcare, hooray! You know, whatever we need to do to get it get it popular over here. Now we're back with Carol in them. Unfortunately, now Carol is going to be not the same as Canon Carol, because now we know what she looks like. She should at least have shorter hair, but oh well. Only so much we can do. Grab that again. I'll wait for you to get out of beds. Since I guess it's almost time for my stretch again. We got a bit more time for that, actually. I didn't actually watch much Power Rangers when I was growing up. Yeah, I wish we had more trains. Trains are neat. I like trains. They're so convenient. Cars are fine and all, but it kind of sucks when, like, that's your only option. Please let there be more trains. But you gotta build the infrastructure for them. So were the Super Sentai, like, they were on trains, or were their vehicles trains or something? Let's see. Had an unfortunate... Uh-oh. So we combined all the trains into one train Megazord. I feel like there's train. Why would you do that? Do they just have a place to put one train that they didn't before? Uh-oh. See, trains, they're like, it's like penises, because they're long. I'm like, okay. Doing an MST3K comic? What kind of MST3K comic? I used to do like MST3K style riffs and stuff in the Kingdom Hearts fandom, but I do not do that anymore. And I'd say if I have any regrets in terms of fandom stuff, that's probably what I regret doing the most. I don't think that was... I think... Well, I think we had some really good jokes in there that I practice at. I don't think that was a good use of our time, because it was discouraging to people's creativity. Even if their creativity is bad, they should be allowed to do it without people making fun of them. So, if I were to do it all again, I would avoid doing that and focus on my own projects. But alas, alack. They didn't realize the imagery. Now, we weren't much in the Power Rangers. We watched a little bit of Digimon, but I think mostly my brothers had Pokemon cards. Pokemon was the thing. I did do a, for a while, I did do a live journal roleplay game where it took place on the Satellite of Love kind of thing. It was one of those, a spooky jam jar, live journal dream with roleplay multi-fandom where characters were all stuck on the Satellite of Love and they had to riff on stories and stuff in order to, get through each week and stuff like that. It was pretty fun, actually. We had a good time with it. But even for that, I pretty much didn't pick fanfic for it. I picked published material that was bad. And if people are like, hey, if you want to volunteer your fan fiction, it's a volunteer-only basis thing, but otherwise we will just do published works as opposed to fan fiction. I don't think anybody ever volunteered any fanfic. It was just published works we did. Which ended up being fun. There's plenty of stuff you publish that, you know, you pay money for that is not good. It was an interesting experiment, though. It kind of lost steam towards the end, but for a while it was going pretty strong. It's an interesting experiment because MST3K. I think that was the last big Dream with RP I participated in. Big multi-fandom RP. I do miss that a little bit because I made some really good friends doing RP with that, but I don't have time for it anymore. I think nowadays the people that were previously, you know, doing a lot of live journal RP these days, they're on Final Fantasy 14. That's where they all went. Now you do your role playing through the Final Fantasies. Which I also don't have time to do. Which is why I have not joined them in Final Fantasy 14 world. If I did that, I would never ever get any of this stuff done. It's Rudy! Rudy's shockingly easy to do a human version of. He's already got kind of a bit of a weird face for a deer. Translates to human face pretty easily. Final Fantasy second half, most people played Elder Scrolls. Aww. Yeah, I feel like these days most of the MMO role-playing stuff is either people are either still into WoW or they're into FF14. Those are the two big ones. I'm sure there's smaller communities still doing stuff too, but I mostly just hear about WoW and 14. I'm sure they're both quite fun. I just don't have time. Not like I used to. Yeah, I played some MST3K characters in old roleplay games. I also played a bunch of Kingdom Hearts characters, usually either Sora or Ericus. We're all too busy being creative. Good thing to be busy with. Good thing to be busy with, I'd say. I can't even fault 14 people for doing 14 because they're creative for that too. They're quite creative. Just there's other projects I want to do that are not necessarily 14 related. Exactly. I can't relax. I have to do a project. I gotta do a thing. That's why I'm so bad at like seeing movies. I'm like, oh, there's a movie out. Should I see it? No, I have an evening. I should get some work done on Eldritchrune. I've got so much left to do. I gotta actually go with a person so that, you know, it becomes a social thing. It's hard when you're an adult and you don't have any time for things. What? Whew. No, I can't do that. Also, my tablet is like, it ain't no iPad. It's this giant chonka-chonk thing. that is attached to my desk. It is going nowhere. I don't have a laptop. I have a desktop and I have an iPad. And the iPad is just for travel. And I don't really draw on it. I tried to draw on it. I have Procreate for it, but I don't really enjoy drawing on the iPad. It doesn't feel good. It's too small. I expect like a lot of room and more of my hotkeys and stuff like that. So I tried it and just didn't really pick it up again. Like if I'm gonna be drawing while out and about, I might as well just do it on paper. Is the audio off? Can you not hear me? Huh. Okay, weird. Yeah, I said audio should not be off. Looks like it's on. Oh, that would do it. Muted tab would do it. It happens. Oh, my tax dollars. Rudy, like, can we please not die, maybe? Please? Still don't think Rudy's gonna actually die in canon, but we'll see. I could be wrong. I don't think I am, but I could be. You never know. Rudy dies, but only because he gets killed by Sephiroth. You didn't see that one coming, did you? Oh no. Screw your Chekhov's gun. Sudden Sephiroth. He was trying to pray for holy, and then Sephiroth showed up and like. I'm like, who's this guy? And Sephiroth's like, oops, wrong person. He just zoops back out, and we're all just kind of left to deal. You know, I haven't played 7 either. That, like, the original or the remake. I feel like I should. I feel like, like some kind of rite of passage, I should do it. Yeah, they can't kill off Rudy because that's gonna explode Noelle. We can't explode Noelle. We need her to be okay. Noelle dang well better be okay, or I will throw hands. I will fight you in the parking lot, Mr. Tobias Fox, if bad things happen to Noelle. There can be angst, but she needs to be okay in the end. We can have a little angst as long as there is catharsis. That's the important part. When's my next break? Is it now? Can't remember. I think I can go a little longer. Meanwhile, this Noelle is like, I'm not gonna be heartbroken. You're gonna be body broken. Hello, hello. Thank you for coming. How would an MST3K comic form work? Well, I imagine it would be the usual comic, but you have the MC3K crew, you know, imposed over it, same way they would the movie. I think I went off onto a tangent about doing that kind of thing for fan fiction and how I wouldn't do that again. I mean, you pretty much got to adapt it to the medium it would be in, so it would be adapted to, you know, you have a comic and you're riffing over it. With a dog time traveler? I don't think you could do it every panel. What? No! Wrong! Most incorrect take ever. Like, how can you possibly be that wrong? That is a girl who likes other girls. That is something extremely obvious about her. She likes a lady. She is so painfully lesbian. I feel like at that point she's just kind of rage baiting, just kind of doing it to be contrarian. It's either cope or they're just rage baiting. Like, oh, let's get those queers all mad. Because I'm like, no, I think you're just wrong. Well, it's not a good place to be if the only way you interact with the fandom is through Reddit and Twitter. You're in trouble there. Sorry. Every day I hear something new from Twitter, I'm like, well, thank God I'm not there anymore. Ugh. Blue Sky ain't perfect, but it is way more tolerable. Also, I cannot deal with, like, every other post being somebody I don't follow or some ad or crap. Just like, oh my goodness. That's why I can't be on Facebook or Instagram. Eldritchrune fan excited to play it for the first time. Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. You might just have to deal with that. Oh, doodle request. Okay, please send me some sprites for more bats. We will just fill this page with bats. All the time. Alright, do it quick, because I have to do a stretch break soon. I think I'm approaching stretch break point. He drives them bats. He drives them bats. But yeah, incorrect take. Noelle likes the lady. So part of me does wonder if that was just rage bait. I don't know if it's good or bad that so much rage bait is like, man, that just believable enough. No contingencies? I don't think so. I mean, not in this hometown. It's medieval hometown. They don't really have any plans for a giant horror showing up and getting everybody. A ghostly bat scent. Alright, I'll check out the ghostly bat as soon as I finish up this little bit with Rudy here. Okay. Let's see. Cute. Oh, cute little guy. Exactly. They were sacrificing children because they had no other way to cope with their problems. Mass produced for consumption rage bait. Ugh. We'll put the bat over here so it's not quite in the same place. This is a ghost bat. Very cute, though. Mm-hmm. And a big heart. Move it over a little bit. Which bot is my favorite? I do like Crow. And I also like GPC. I just felt a little sad that like she kind of got the short end of the stick in like the early seasons. But then she was able to do more. Like in the earliest seasons, like seasons 1 and 2, she was treated kind of weirdly. But I also do like Crow. He's so artistic. Ghost bat. Isn't there a ARG about that actually? No, okay, it's a little large, so we're gonna make it a little bit smaller. Fit in with the rest. Squeeze it down. Nope, like that. There we go. Cute. More bats, hooray! We add them to the thing. All the way back in 2016, wow. Oh, that's cute. Echo and Loca. Echolocation. I do like bats. Bats are cute. Okay, I gotta actually take my stretch break. Went a little bit over. So we'll pull back over here. What's the weirdest, dumbest cope? If we're talking just the Eldritchrune fandom, and I'm going to avoid talking about Jaru at all, people still in on chess theory. I'm like, okay, no, I think that's cope. Non-Death Knight, yep, I agree with that. I think there's serious cope there. Please, this is something I worry about. Like, do me a favor, if we get through like chapter 5 or 6 or whatever, and there's like no confirmation of like half-human Susie, or it gets debunked or whatever like that, do not let me double down. Don't let me fall into cope. Hit me with a roll-up newspaper and be like, no, stop that. Flap, 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 flap. Grow up and move on. I don't want to get stuck in the cope cycle. I don't want to be like, no guys, that can still happen. If it ends up not happening. Because I don't want to be like that. It's going to happen. I hope so. I think so. But if it doesn't happen, because there's still a possibility, I don't think it's certain. If it doesn't happen, I don't want to end up doubling down. I don't want to be the kind of person that's like, no guys, listen to me. I don't want to be Asriel's Dust or chess theory or non-Death Knight or whatever. I don't want to be in that position. Gotta accept what we get and be excited for new things. Again, I do think it'll happen, but there's always the chance it won't. So, if I ever drift too far into doubling down or coping, give me a smack. Roll up that newspaper and smack me on the nose. And be like, stop that. Calm down. Obviously, spammed him as the knight. Boot me on the beak. Exactly. Basically, I don't want to end up like Jaru. I see that and I'm like, do not want. Don't do that. Please. I don't want to be that obnoxious. So stop my squawking. Stop my squawking. Exactly. Susie. Oh my goodness, no. No trauma spectrum. Oh my goodness, no. Do not. Well, let's add more trauma to the character. That makes them more interesting. Ugh. What if I'm April Fool's? I don't think I could manage that. I'm not that good at lying. I would have to make up a bunch of stuff. I'm no good at that. I mean, if I tried, maybe I could make a bunch of stuff, but I don't think I don't think I can make it convincing. I don't think I can make a good joke out of it. Some people are good at lying, but not me. I'm a terrible liar. I never know what to do for April Fools. I haven't done anything for April Fools because I never have a good idea. In terms of like, oh, this would be like funny and also, you know, cute and harmless and stuff like that. I'm so bad at coming up with a good April Fool's prank. And then April Fool's rolls around and I'm like, oh, I don't have anything. Power scaling PTSD. I never saw the Andrew Cunningham stream on that. I wish I had, but I think that's unlisted or privated, so I don't have access to it. I know that's the petty part of me is like, oh, I want to see the tea on that, but I don't have access to that video. I want to ask, how do you write comics? I mean, I don't really follow a specific format. I usually just kind of write it down in terms of like, okay, this happens in this and this. Here's the dialogue. Like my comic writing's pretty informal. Yeah, that's true. I don't think I'm good at lying because one, I don't do it for my job, and two, my parents were not, like, they were strict, but not like insanely strict. They, you know, weren't like, don't watch this movie or anything like that. Anyways, I will be right back for one more stretch and water and stuff. And I'm back. I'm back. No, looking back on it, like, my parents were, you know, kind of strict in that, you know, grew up Christian conservative kind of way, but at the same time they like, where's my pen? It wasn't that kind of thing of like, oh, you can't watch The Simpsons or anything like that. Like, they didn't really restrict our media or anything. So, hello, thank you for coming, and welcome back from food. I will have to get that eventually myself. Here comes an angry Noelle. She's coming for you. Oh, I'm glad you got your munchies. Were they the same place that Eldritch Noel got them? But also, if any of y'all actually do have access to that Andrew Cunningham stream, feel free to DM me in Discord. Send me a link. Unless that's not allowed, in which case, don't do that. Only do that if that's doable. If it's not doable, then don't do that. I won't ask you to break a rule for me, for example. What kind of munchies did you get that you're covered in blood? If that is allowed and you can do that, please send that to me. I know I say, you know, let's drop it, but there's the petty part of me does want to see his reaction to it, because I trust Andrew Cunningham's analysis a lot more than say Jaru's does. So if that is allowed, if that is permitted, toss me a link in Discord, and I will look at that on my own later. Welcome back from lunch again. From all kinds of lunch. Well, you're the second person that said they're back from lunch. So another welcome back from lunch. I will need to get lunch myself. There were multiple people that went to lunch, because it is time for a lunch in parts of the country that I am not in. Okay, all right. I'll keep that in mind. That happens to the best of us. I won't hold it. I won't hold it against Andrew. I think there's something more going on there, and that I think that there's something there, and that this is a person who is going to end up really disliking Deltarune, when it does not go the way expected, and that's a really bad position to be in. So yeah. I will keep that in mind and be like, oh, the misgendering sucks, but it happens to the best of us, especially when we're not in good spirits. Noelle and Undyne had a staring contest. I think Undyne's gonna lose in this case. Giant unblinking Cyclops eye. I think that might freak you out if you were in a staring contest. And I've certainly misgendered characters by accident. I've done it with Sham a couple times, done it with Monster Kid and Napstablook. At this point, I'm pretty good about avoiding it with Chris, but there's definitely places where I screw up, and that's all right. That is the world we live in. Yeah, exactly. All you can do is your best. I am much more forgiving of oops, I screwed up, than no, I didn't screw up. It's fine to do that, actually. You're only human, unlike Noelle here. With a big, scary monster deer. He's coming for you. Since we were talking about MST3K, I got the song stuck in my head. Killer Shrew. Killer Shrew, don't know the difference between me and you. Comes out at night. Now it's Killer Noel, Killer Noel. Da 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 da. Killer Shrew. He's coming to your town to get you. Killer Shrew is not one of my favorite MST3K episodes, but I do love the songs they sing during it. For some reason, the songs I just find really funny, like the Killer Shrew song. And then also, you're gonna die from shrew bites, you're gonna die from shrew bites, shrew bites, shrew bites. Alright. Sounds good. Hope you have a good time at work, or at least a tolerable time, depending on work. You're gonna die from true bites. You know what? I haven't seen any of the Sonic movies. Are those on Netflix? Maybe I'll watch those after. I'll finally watch those after I finish Free Run, because I'm getting close to finishing Free Run. Oh yeah, I'm referencing the MST3K episode, The Killer Shrews, which is basically like, we made shrews really big because of metabolism magic or whatever in science. And for the Killer Shrews, they're basically just like, one, they're either like puppets, or two, they're like dogs, and they put, like just some rag costumes over them and attach long tails to them or whatever, and then have them run around. But it's very obvious that these are not shrews. They're like just dogs with stuff on them. So, like, they have the Killer Shrews come running out, and the bots are like, puppies! We love practical effects. We love practical effects with no budget. Which is exactly what the Killer Shrews is. They defeat the Killer Shrews by, like, all getting in a bunch of barrels tied together and walking to their boat to get off the island with the Killer Shrews, because, Killer Shrews can't bite through metal, I guess, but they can bite through, other things. Yeah, it's nice that we have a different animal, because apparently their whole deal is, like, why they made the shrews giant and scary. It's like, the shrews have a crazy metabolism. They need to eat their entire body weight in a single day or they'll die. So, like, they made really big shrews, and the shrews are ravenous because they have to eat, like, a ton of stuff. And they're running out of food on the island, so they're gonna come get the humans on the island because they're killer shrews that have to eat all the time. And maybe that's true. Like, maybe shrews do have crazy high metabolism. Hearing me explain the plot, it's not a good movie. Like, that's why it's on MST3K. It is quite a bad movie. Mostly because the characters are just all obnoxious. There's one guy who's just like a drunk for some reason, and then there's like, I'm the scientist that made the Killer Shrews. Please get my daughter off the island of Killer Shrews. Well, what's the original goal of making things big? Then they're scary. What if you had this small thing and it was really big, and now it's scary? And again, with the shrews, it wasn't even like a giant shrew. It was like a dog-sized shrew, which, I guess, like, what if there were wolves, but also they were, like, big rats, and they were really, really, really hungry all the time? Well, that's kind of scary, I guess. Well, yeah, isn't that Night of the Lepus? Isn't that basically what Night of the Lepus is about? Is, like, giant killer rabbits, because rabbits were introduced into Australia, and they were invasive and were just eating a bunch of stuff that they were not supposed to. I mean, that's kind of scary. That's pretty spooky. You don't really want to introduce a species that doesn't have a natural predator and then just starts messing up everybody else's time on that space. It depends. Like, most of the Eldritch Beasts I make pretty large, but like, Monster Kid is probably the smallest Eldritch Beast they've met so far, and that's still quite big. Oh, brother. What, there wasn't already animals in Australia for you to hunt? You had to hunt rabbits? Oh, no, that's dumb. Once again, it's humans being dumb. The bilby. What's the bilby? Yeah, imagine they definitely don't want people like buying a bunch of rabbits and bringing those home. Like, no more of those, please. Is a bilby like a wallaby, or what? What's a bilby? What is that? Bilby is a marsupial. Seem to have a lot of those in Australia. Actually, how many marsupials exist outside of Australia? Ooh, long ears. That's cute. I know we have multiple marsupials in Australia. Like, are there any marsupials outside of Australia? Cane toads. Uh-oh. That's a problem. Well, I mean, deer aren't normally that big either, but we still made Noel big. That is part of the fun of the Eldritch Beasts, is you make them just, like, really big and intimidating. Look what you did, Carol! He's like, I had my reasons for it. My reasons! They're perfectly good. I'm sure she's going to have her reasons for canon, too. Whatever that involves. Oh yeah, invasive species can come from anywhere. It's just anytime a species that, is not suited for that environment gets into the environment and there's no natural predators or stuff for it and starts causing a problem. Take small animals and make them big, or big animals and make them bigger. No horse tried making big animals small to be scary. Hello, thank you for coming. I think the issue if, like, you were going to make a big animal and make it small to be scary is that then you would have to have a lot of that animal to be scary. Because oftentimes what makes a small animal scary is that there's a lot of them. It either has to be something that you're not good at detecting, like it's well hidden and like poisonous or something, and that's scary to us. Or you need a lot of them, like insects. That what makes insects scary is to us is that like there's lots of them and they all move like a one thing. Ugh, I wouldn't want to whack an animal with a golf club. Ugh, no, I don't like that. Ugh. I don't like, even if I understand having to kill animals for like if they're invasive and stuff and there's no other way to do it, but I would not want to do that myself. I don't think I could bear that. And like we have an invasive animals here as well, like the Japanese the lantern flies. I think it's either Japanese beetles or lantern flies. Those are a huge problem, and I've seen signs up in the park that are like, if you see a lantern fly, kill it and let somebody know about it, basically, kind of thing. Like, we do not want these. Basically, kill it and bring us the body. Tiny moose parasite. I don't know, I think moose are always going to be really intimidating because they're big. It's hard to imagine moose quite as scary if there's a lot of small mooses. I don't know how it works. Yeah, it's not like they're committing a crime or anything. They're just animals. They're just, they're just living. They don't know any better. So it sucks. But at the same time, we have the power to see that there's more to consider than just that. There's a whole ecosystem to consider. So if we're like, oh, this is actually quite exceptionally bad for an ecosystem, we do have to do something about it, because they are not the only animals that we have to worry about. Meeson. A tiny moose deflating car tires, poking them. Poking you in the ankles. I guess the thing is, what makes small animals scary to us is, one, if there's a lot of them. Two, if they're, like, hidden and surprise us, like a spider or a centipede or something. And, like, we don't like the feeling of something small, like, crawling on us. That, like, we don't like being able to see where it's coming from. That's scary. We don't like, things that are poisonous or all that kind of stuff. That's my car, you dumb animal. Now, what if car insurance doesn't cover tiny moose attacking your tires because they're rutting? I was thinking of that one video of, like, the two moose fighting in a person's yard, and this guy's yelling, "Ma! There's moose fighting in the front yard! Call the ASPCA!" I probably am quoting that wrong, but it's pretty funny. I'm like, this is some National Geographic shit. It was pretty scary. I would be terrified if there were two moose that were fighting each other in my yard. I would not go outside. Tiny Moose always pop 3 tires. No. My mustache can't protect us. Oh, why do we need gravity guns for this? Okay, actually, once they're inside, we're gonna take a thing down a bit. Remember when there were like hoaxes going around about like the tree octopus or like house hippos? I think that was a Canadian thing. It's like, watch out for the house hippo. And the whole point of that thing was to teach you, hey, don't believe everything you see online or see everything you see on TV. Gravity guns are fun. I guess that's different from a portal gun. Insurance in the Pokemon world. Pseudo-Woodle considered a plant is not covered. No, but it's a rock type. Okay. I have to say, when I was playing whatever game Pseudo-Woodle first appears in, I absolutely fell for it. I'm like, that's a plant. I'll use fire on it. It's not effective because it's a rock. I was fooled. I was fooled by the Pseudo-Woodle. Stupid child me. Tripped. Oh, okay. I wasn't sure what context Gravity Gun was talking about. I should play Half-Life at some point. I have it. I got it like super cheap. We're all fooled by the Pseudo-Woodle. It was. Gosh darn. They're also really hard to catch in Pokemon Go. I don't know what it is, but there are certain Pokemon it's like, oh, this is an easy catch and this is a hard one. Pseudo-Woodle is one of the more difficult ones to catch. It's pretty stubborn. I do have a shiny Bonsley, though. Yeah, didn't realize Pseudo was supposed to be Pseudo. This is like that thing where, like, you're scared of the thing that's coming, so you hide in your car and you flip the car locks on, tiny little car locks. That'll help. I mean, he was mostly trying to be like, hey, maybe if we run in here, it won't see us, kind of thing. But unfortunately, no, she did see you. You were spotted, Rudy. Locking the doors of a convertible with your top down. Wasn't that a thing in, like, I remember seeing previews for that movie about, like, the chimp, that's the killer chimp that goes mad, it's gonna get you, and somebody's, like, trying to hide in their car with the car locks, and the chimp is outside with, like, the automatic door opener and just keeps trying to open the car door with the thing, because, oh no, we taught the chimp how to open the car. Now it's gonna get you. Yeah, they do make you feel better, whether or not they actually work. Oops. They do make you feel better. I'm gonna take this one down a bit. So this is basically the equivalent of that. They're trying to be like, if we hide in here, it'll be fine. It'll not be fine. It will, in fact, be the opposite of fine. Well, I don't really have plans to go see the Killer Chimp movie because I already don't like monkeys. I already don't like chimps. Something about them feels a little bit too creepy for me. I haven't seen the movie Nope either. Isn't there like a killer chimp in the movie Nope? Where the whole deal is like humans are like, haha, we have tamed this wild animal. I know it's my ancestors, but they're unsettling. Yeah, I know that the thing with Nope is like it's UFOs, like the giant jellyfish are like UFOs, but isn't there also like a killer chimp at some point? Yeah, it's a little thing that it's kind of an uncanniness. Chimps are like really close to home because they're our, you know, cousins. Especially because it's like chimps are, you know, they're our cousins. They are uncannily close to us, but at the same time, like, they don't really follow the rules of like human, you know, socializing. Like human socializing, okay, you show you that, you know, you're on good terms by making eye contact and smiling, show your teeth. Like those are our ways of, you know, being nice to humans. Whereas with apes, that's like, no, do not make eye contact, do not show your teeth. That means you want to fight. Like, it's like all the stuff of like similar to humans, and yet the rules of it are completely alien because they are animals with their own sense of body language and communication and socializing. This thing that's kind of close to human but does not follow human norms. Yeah, bad day. Oh, yes, if we just teach the chimps to be just like humans, then they won't act that way. Not because, you know, that's appropriate for their species to act that way. I guess it would make her a little uncanny valley, depending on, you know, who you're talking to. It's hard to tell right now because a lot of the monsters, like, they already look pretty humanoid. And they don't act very different from humans, but I imagine it's the kind of thing of like, oh, if you knew, you would start being like, oh, that's a little weird. Which is why she does not talk about it. Because it's just, doing so, it's just made her life worse. Yeah, please don't make apes into pets. Please do not. They're not domesticated. Don't do that. Like, oh man, imagine if that chimp had actually succeeded. We might have been better off. Imagine if that eagle had actually taken off Trump's hand. Oh, if only. But I don't want showing teeth to be considered friendly. I know, to apes, we're the weird ones. It's like, why are you showing off your teeth? Why are you looking me in the eye? Why do you want to fight? What's wrong with you? Stop that. We can imagine draw fan art. We can. Again, I've got like a if Half Human Susie turns out to be true, I could probably do a whole another fanfic about you know, her life before she got to hometown. I've got ideas for it, since I don't think the transformation thing from Growing Pains applies. I think that is out the window now. But at the time, it worked for the story. Yeah, oh, good grief. Gosh darn chimp, why didn't you get it? Why didn't you get Reagan for us? You would have been reincarnated as a beautiful lotus flower. They know chimps have the right idea. I wish I was a little better at socializing with people. My problem is I'm too caught up in projects. But yeah, chimps, they spook me a little bit. I wish them well in their chimp lives, just don't live your... I don't want to be a part of it. I mean, I do like seeing apes at the zoo. But, you know, there's a big old barrier between me and the apes. So I'm like, oh, I can appreciate the apes doing their ape thing and not trying to interact with me. I'm not being asocial, I'm just respecting my hominid ancestry. But the thing is, apes are social. Apes are social animals. Like, they're not antisocial. They just show their socialness in different ways than we do. They have their own sets of rules. They're just not the same rules that we have, and that's kind of what makes them uncanny, is that we don't really know what... Well, we have an idea, but we're not familiar with ape socializing rules. No, I don't want any animals to be dead. Just because I dislike an animal does not mean I want it dead. I don't even want mosquitoes to be dead. Mosquitoes actually, like, I hate mosquitoes. Like, they suck literally. They're really awful. But, like, they actually perform an important part of the food chain. So we should not be killing any animals. Every animal is important, even the ones we don't like. There are no useless animals. They're plants. Everybody's got a place on the planet, and they all deserve to be there. Just because they don't serve a function for us, or we can't understand them, doesn't mean that, like, they're lesser. Oh, ooh, that's scary. Oh, that's probably part of the problem, because she probably saw a thing of like, oh, gorillas like to thump their chest, kind of thing. That's fun. I want to do that, not realizing that that's like a you want to fight movement. That poor girl. I hope she was okay, because that'd be really scary if, you know, a gorilla tried to charge you. Ooh. I would be pretty darn spooked. I haven't been to the zoo in a long time. Now I want to go to the zoo. I miss the zoo. I love looking at animals. I love animals in general. Animals are great. They all have something special to show with us. As long as we respect their space and their autonomy and their right to live their own lives. Yeah, I hate ticks too. Like, ticks are awful. I've never had to worry much about ticks, thankfully, because I don't live in that area. But ticks are scary. Ticks are heckin' scary. But they also serve an important part of the food chain. Like, basically, any animal, any insect that's like a bloodsucker, like a mosquito or a tick, the important function they serve is basically taking nutrients out of, like, the really big animals on the chain, which are, you know, take a lot of resources, pulling those back further down the chain to something smaller, like, you know, things that eat ticks, like, you know, insects and other insects and birds and mice or lizards or whatever. And that's actually that's an important part of the food chain, is bringing those nutrients back down. So we hate ticks because they spread disease and they're scary, but bloodsuckers actually are important for the environment too. Zoo. Yeah, I bet you at that point the gorilla knows what the camera is and is like, never mind, I ain't doing that. Gorillas are smart. Honestly, my favorite thing is when, like, when you're at the zoo and, like, somebody takes an animal to another animal's tank that, like, has never encountered that animal before. Like, they're still separated by glass, but I accidentally pulled that up. They're still separated by glass, but you just kind of see each other, like, you know, take an iguana over to, like, the sea otters or whatever, and have them look at each other and be like, what is that? Kind of thing. That's always really funny. My life's purpose is to bite. Bite, 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 bite. Exactly. A seal would not know what an armadillo is, and they'd be like, what? Like, pretty much any animal at the zoo is going to get used to humans eventually, because they're going to see those around all the time, and those are the things that feed you, whatever. So they're like, okay, I know what a human is. But you introduce them to a new animal that, you know, they've never seen before because it's not part of their habitat, and it's like, huh? 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 I think a lot of it's like taking reptiles around to other places, because reptiles are extremely chill and will just let you, like, take them places. Like, are we going someplace? Okay, cool. You're warm. It's fine. Like when you're in... Oh, I need to stop and do a stretch break before I can do my last session. It's like when you're in elementary or middle school or whatever, and there's always just, like, a guy that comes to the school and, like, shows off a bunch of different reptiles, and you never really question how they have all these reptiles. They just kind of have, like, yeah, I've got a lizard, and I've got a snake, and I've got a turtle, and I've got another snake. Like, they just have, like, 5 different reptiles. They're like, yeah, you can touch them, because if you treat them right, reptiles are, you know, they don't really mind being held by people. If they don't see you as a threat, they're like, sure, whatever, they're chill about it. Tiger's like, oh great, another weirdo. Not a smart thing to do, because all they have to do is decide they don't like you being there, and, you know, you're dead. treat animals with respect. Don't get up all in their personal space. If you don't like it when people get in your personal space, assume that other animals don't like that either. Especially if they don't know your intentions. It might be, I'm guessing part of the problem is like, unless you are somebody who like, works on a farm or works, with wild animals normally, works in a zoo, does preservation stuff. Like most people don't have a lot of contact with wild animals. Most of our contact with animals is with our pets, like a dog or a cat. And a domesticated animal is just really different from a wild animal because a domesticated animal is been designed for generations to like respond well to humans and gets along with humans and is attentive to how humans feel. They're kind of our little bonded buddies. So we know how to act around them. We know we can act like a person around them. But a wild animal, it's not domesticated. You can't really treat a wild animal like a domesticated animal. They have their own deal, their own desire. Oh, I hate that. I hate the AI fake videos. Ah! I know. I hate that. That makes me really mad. Because animals do so many cool, like, behaviors and, actions on their own. You don't need to make up stuff. You can just film the actual cool things they do. I hate that people make up stuff about that. I hate that. Yeah, both Rudy and Carol are in trouble, and Rudy did have a hand in it. He also participated in the child sacrifice, so unfortunate. Even if Carol was the one leading it. Yeah, zoo animals are even not the same as wild animals, and you still have to be careful. That's true. That is true. All right, I'll be right back for one more stretch, and then we'll do one more session. Alright, I'm back. Well, so people get clout. I don't know, maybe you don't need clout. How about you draw a picture and get some clout that way? But yeah, I hate that. I hate people just making stuff up about animals, because animals are already cool. You don't gotta make up stuff about them for them to be cool. And yeah, like even like with Alfie's, my lizard. She is she's basically been around humans her entire life, so she is extremely tolerant of being picked up and pet and handled and all that kind of stuff, because she has known since she was a baby that humans are not dangerous to her, kind of thing. And even with all of that, she's still not a domesticated animal. There is still a difference between a pet lizard and a dog that has been domesticated to depend on people. I love those big toads with the big butts, making their silly little toad noises. Wah, wah. Toads are neat. I like toads. I like amphibians in general. I like frogs. I like toads. Again, I like most animals. You're hard pressed to find me an animal I don't like. Like, even I was just talking about, you know, like chimps and gorillas and stuff. Even if they're uncanny, I respect them. They are very nice animals. Hands and fingers would be weird. Alright, thanks a bunch for coming. Appreciate you being here. Oh, leather necklace, thank you. It's like, it's supposed to be kind of like a vague antlers kind of thing going on with her necklace. Again, please forgive my differences. This Carol design was pretty much like before we saw what she actually looks like. So, not a great match with what we know from canon. I'm glad it still works. It was based off, you know, what we knew at the time, and I still like the platinum blonde part. I at least got that right, but that seemed like that was a given. I should have put her in blue though, because she's dressed in blue, and I have her dressed in green. That is a major change, but alas alack, there's only so much we can do with that. And yeah, the knight in Eldritchrune. Not as cool as Canon Knight. Canon Knight is just scary and kick-ass. So. But I do have to do something with Eldritchrune Knight. I gotta do a part with that in the future. So I gotta write it though. Here come the deer. She's coming to your house. She's coming to your house to get you. I will say, like, even though stuff from Eldritchrune obviously does not match up super well with canon, it'll be extremely funny if the one thing that is right was, like, yes, Chris was supposed to basically be a child sacrifice, supposed to be a martyr, and that this was encouraged by Carol. I'll be like, holy crap, that's funny. I'm glad people like that from Paper Trail. Goodness knows we had very little to go off of at the time. Only vague ideas. Funny is a funny word for it. I mean, I didn't. Whatever word is appropriate for that. Mind blowing, I guess. The evil Lynx smiling at child sacrifice. No. I don't think Chris will actually die by the end. I think they think they're gonna die. They're kind of anticipating it, but I don't. I actually do not think that we're gonna have any major characters die, unless you maybe count Rouse in a way. I think Rouse will be the closest to that, but like I don't even think Rudy's gonna die. Yeah, that is still wild. Like I never saw that as like, oh, Chris is secretly Kara kind of thing. I'm like, no, I think there's something else going on here. It's gonna start out with Chris killing everybody. I'm like, that doesn't sound like a great game. Like, what's going on with that? So I got a lot of stuff wrong, but I'm at least glad the stuff I got right was like, there will be multiple Dark Worlds at different locations around town where we'll meet new cool Darkners. Aww. Yeah, maybe if this was an anime, then Rudy is like, okay, Rudy is definitely going to die. Kind of thing. The reason why I don't think Rudy is going to die is because I think he is more useful as character motivation if he's alive but in danger. Yay, thank you. Even though I feel like Paper Trail already kind of strays a little bit too much into Undertale too, with the whole, you know, this is the humans are trapped underground instead of the monsters kind of thing. But at the very least, don't want to redo all the events from Undertale again. That's why I don't really understand like the whole thing of like, oh, the Dark Worlds are just Undertale in reverse, and it's like, what does that mean? What do we get out of that? The story is not Undertale in reverse. What do we? If that was the case, what would we learn? And also, it doesn't really make sense. They don't match up all that great. I kind of feel like sometimes that Toby might have gone a little bit overboard with his whole, like, I wanted the audience to think this was Undertale 2 at first, and then surprise, this is not Undertale 2, this is its own thing, ta-da. Because some people never left that it's Undertale 2 kind of business. They never quite moved past it. No, that was... What do you mean? No, that was one of the best gags in that chapter. That one made me howl. That was funny. Asking for someone who looks just like me. He's talking about me. That was a good joke. I like that joke. Yeah, I guess that's true. I guess it doesn't hurt anything. That's true enough. Got to give more grace for that. Yeah, I love that joke. That was a funny joke. You didn't even put that in E tier. No, that was a good joke. Like, chapter 2 had a lot of good jokes, and that was one of the ones I really enjoyed. Newbert, also good joke. Give my riches to the weak. It means titty is a... Hope that was S tier, because that one always made me laugh really hard. Like, unfortunately, I don't think this stream exists anymore, because I wasn't streaming it correctly when I did it. But when I first played Chapter 2 with my friends, like we usually have it as a tradition now, we were doing all of that together. We got to that part, and I chose the, bosom thing, and we got to, it means titty, and like, just all three of us just busted a gut, laughing so hard for like 2 full minutes. It was so good. You know what? I haven't seen My Neighbor Totoro. I should see that. That's on streaming at some point, isn't it? Okay. Wow, we are making pretty good progress. Actually, no, I need to do their eyes. Forgot about that. Yes, sometimes people go to the hospital and they get better. It's not guaranteed death. In fact, I would venture to say most times people go to the hospital, they get better. Because otherwise, people would probably go to the hospital a lot less. I guess that's how it used to be, like, before proper sanitization. Like, people didn't want to go to the hospital because, like, you were more likely to die because the doctors, like, didn't wash their hands and didn't sterilize equipment. Which, bad. So you were more likely to get infected by something. I have a fun time with that movie. Thank you for coming. I'm like, what's that weird noise coming outside our house? Disney Movie World having both parents is a luxury. That's got to become more common now, right? I feel like they've kind of realized, oh, the missing mom is a problem, we should drop it, sort of thing. I'm kind of curious what the ratio of, like, missing parents is with modern Disney films versus older Disney films. They broke the house. She brought the house down. Wah, wah, wah. But I also haven't kept up with a lot of modern Disney movies. I have not seen Wish, for example, and from what I hear, I shouldn't. I think, like, in Strange World, both the parents were alive in that. Oh, grief, what else came out recently? You know, Inside Out movies, both parents are alive in that. That's Pixar, not Disney, though. Yeah, the new Beaver movie. I do kind of want to see the Hoppers. I want to see the Beaver movie. That looks fun. I'll see another Pixar movie. Turning Red. Both of her parents are alive. Yeah, she broke her antlers. Her antlers are like made of ice, so they will break a little easier, but they also grow back easier. But she did just smash through a roof, so that's going to break off her antlers. The only problem is then I have to, like, remember that chunk of her antlers is missing for, like, all the next parts, which is a... Oof. I know I'm going to make a mistake at some point and draw the full rack of antlers on there, and people are going to be like, wait, she broke her antlers, and I'll be like, no, my continuity. I borked it. I borked it like she borked her antlers. It happens. I'm so bad with that in terms of, like, accessories. Like, if a character design has, like, a character with accessories on them, oh my goodness, I am super bad at remembering the accessories exist. Which is probably due to my real life self never wearing accessories. It's not like I don't like them, I just totally forget they're there on a character design, and then, like, I'll just draw the character and just whoop, I forget an essential accessory, and then I'm like, oh, dang it. Literally have the character design in front of me, and I'm still like, huh? Oh, they have a necklace. Oh, they have a bracelet. I forgot. So hopefully I will not forget that, yeah, she breaks her antlers getting in. I'm not sure how long it takes for her antlers to grow back, but I don't think it'll happen within the course of the time we have for the ending. Because all this stuff happens within, like, you know, less than a day. There's a lot of stuff going on. I guess we're almost to the end of our time. But I will go until we're done. Multiple, if you mean for the doodle requests, please don't go over like 2. Because these, 2 at a time, I would say. Because, these are supposed to be like 1 minute things, so if I'm doing like multiple characters, that's gonna kind of make it more of a lengthy thing. So like here on the doodle page, like here's, you know, Noelle and Chris together, like that's 2 characters, so that's okay. But I would say don't go over 2. And if there are 2, the chances are higher that I might not do the full body. Yeah, it just needs to drink water and it will freeze into new antlers. Just don't do it with Miss Mizzle. That's a bad plan. Unless you're Susie, then it'll be fine. You know, she have a giant rack of antlers then. No, she could not do that. Only Susie can do that because Susie's got the giant stomach that can actually hold all that. Yeah, the other beasts do not have that ability. Yeah, that's a very good thing. She does not need to pee, thankfully. I ain't going that direction. No, thank you. She's very quick to call dibs on Chris because she's like, yay, apple flavor! Nom 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 nom. Oh, we were talking about the Eldritch beasts. And Noelle regrowing the antlers she breaks here because she breaks off a chunk of them to break the roof down. And Birdley's like, I want the apple taste. Oh, you gotta be faster, Birdley. Birdley, it's not fair you wave dash. Chris like, I don't know what that is. A magic system using keyboard shortcuts. Fascinating. Huh. Has anybody done that before? That feels like something that has to have been done before. The magic of Control Z and Control X, Control Z. Animation versus animator. Okay, I've vaguely heard of that, but I haven't actually watched it. But that sounds like the kind of thing that would use keyboard shortcuts as magic or whatever. Modern fantasy. I've heard it's good. It is still computer. Well, the magic of that in real life is, like, that's the funny part. Like, as an artist, sometimes, I have absolute, if I, you know, because I spend all my time drawing on the computer, whenever I go to, like, you know, real life drawings again, like stuff on paper, you literally do have that, like, itch where, like, you do something kind of wrong and you're like, oh no, I gotta undo that. And your hand kind of unconsciously moves to do the motion of, you know, undo, and then you realize, oh, I can't do that. I can't do it. This is real life. I can't do it. It totally happens. It's the muscle memory. It's a very automatic movement. The power of edit undo. Yeah, you try and zoom in on a canvas and you're like, I can't do that. Tom, Servo, and Crow. Okay. Well, we'll go over, pop over and do that real quick. Hop on over here. I'm different. Let me pull up my thing so I can look at a little reference of them. Shouldn't be that hard to find. Where did, here it is. Okay, Servo and Crow. There they are. Tom, I don't get you. Nobody does. I'm the wind, baby. I haven't drawn these guys very much, considering I really like them. One of my main fandoms. Whoop. You changed your bowling pin. Smart. Luckily, I only have to draw them from the top up because they don't really have. Well, they do have legs and stuff, but we don't need to see them. no, wait, I'm not going to do full body Crow. I'm not going to do his skinny little legs. Sorry. And his little claws. Hey guys, check this out. You can see my legs. You can see my legs. No jumping on the couch. Literally the first thing I thought of when we saw like the gotcha ball machine for chapter 3 is I'm like, Tom Servo, he's gonna be in chapter 3. He was not, alas. But he should have been. He could have been because we were on TV. We had the riffing commentary. I'm like the wind, baby. Yeah, here's our favorite bots. I'm going to fill in the little space around Crow's eyes because it doesn't quite look right without that. Alright, that looks a little better. There we go. Yeah, I'm glad they brought back the spring arms. Hooray! Thank you for letting me add Tom and Crow. I love them. They're such the cool, good boys that make the funny joke. Yeah, do GPC and Cambot. Yeah, you got to specify which Cambot because there's a lot of them. I think the Cambot I prefer is like the little round floaty blue ball. I like that Cambot, but you know there's a lot of different good Cambots to choose from. So you would have to specify which Cambot you mean. Oh, whoops! Helps if I. Season 5, season... Okay, that's the one I like. That's the floaty ball. Yeah, that's the floating one. So I know in like the earlier seasons he's like red and more of a, you know, camcorder looking thing, and I like the little floating guy. Crow. It's too bad, because I did like the mirror effect, the idea that, you know, because Cambot is the one filming everything, like, in order to see him, you have to have him in a mirror. That's good, that's good. Because, yeah, the whole point is that he's the one filming everything, so you cannot see him unless you see him in a mirror. Bring back cute Cambot. And I'm less up to date with like some of the other bots they introduced, like Waverly, who I guess is kind of a, I mean, this one's kind of like a Rolf bot. I'm very bad at identifying music. I'm sorry. Don't ask me to do that. I'm so bad at picking up on leitmotifs. I have to have all that explained to me. I'm not skilled with it. Same thing with like, who would you voice act for this? And I'm like, I don't know. All right, as soon as we finish this one bit with Noelle's big scary legs, I think we're gonna have to stop because it is almost noon and I need to get some. Oh, an ad time. Oh no. Oh no, ads. It's 4 characters. I guess it is 4 characters. Cambot's not commentating on things. All right, I'll wait for ads to be done and then we'll start our goodbyes. Because I need to get some lunch myself. Because I'm hungry. I'm hungry. Noelle's hungry too. Watch out, Carol. Beware. But yeah, we didn't quite get through everything in page 3, but we got through, I think about 4 or 5 pages, so cool. I can mark that down on my super long, takes forever, little chart of progress. Alright, let me know when ads are done, and I will do my farewells. You heard a piano piece on the radio that I was looking for more than 20 years. Oh, that's crazy. I would probably be the wrong person. I don't think I could identify that for you well, but that's crazy. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's time for me to stop and get my lunch and all that stuff as well, because I'm also getting hungry. Yes, thank you guys so much for coming to the stream and hanging out with me. I'll do more Outer Tail on Friday. Hopefully the boss battle will go better than it did last time. And then, of course, I should be doing more of this. We might jump back over to backgrounds next week, because I got a lot of those to do. Yes, of course, there will always be more progress. Thank you for the doodles. Yeah, I got to add Little Bat and Tom and Crow. Always very good stuff. Huh, that's weird about the song. I'm sorry. I don't know if I'll be able to help you. I'm very bad with that. Yes, I hope you guys join me for more Outer Tail on Friday, and I hope you join me for more art next Sunday morning, next week, or good night, wherever you are in the world. Thank you guys so much for coming. I super appreciate you being here. Any new follows, that's super awesome. And yeah, hope the rest of your day goes well. It's not great day outside, but oh, that's okay. But yeah, I will see you all next time. Alrighty, I will see you later.